we almost complete to our cycles to improve. There are two sub-activities in here. The first one is to check, and when we look to these pictures, it's telling us something about each of the E-EAFM circles. It go like spin to another's, and from each of these is moved to another's by the links which we got it from the result from the monitorings and our evaluation. So you can see that, and also you see for the times we have been talk about this and also have been mentioned it when we talk about our E-EAFM. It might cannot finish in a very short period. Even from this you can see it take even more than 10 or 15 years. Yeah, for this step, it also one of the critical steps in our management cycles. For the regular monitorings, we need to see if our progress are going in the right track in achieving the objective. Okay, and for the monitoring and evaluation, which many people say very short as M&E. This provides the critical information for our adaptive management. And this morning, people talking about the MCS. This is another thing that one concern more on the compliance and the enforcement. But the monitoring which we are talking about now is broader than that, and it's another thing, not the same. Okay, so we take notes on this. As I mentioned to you before, there are the sub-steps. So two sub-steps under this step. The first one is monitoring and evaluation. So for the monitors, we will collect the data. The data which we collect will be focused on our indicators. Okay, and for the evaluate, we will compare the results of the monitorings and evaluate management performance with the benchmark and report. And for the reviews and adapt of the E-EAFM plans, when we talk about the reviews, that is the regular reviews of the plans and adapts. So sometimes we need to adapt when it is needed or required. So we will see further more details on this. We do the monitorings. It depends on our indicators. Weekly, monthly, or bi-seasonals, or bi-yearly. So it just depends to our indicators. And for the evaluate management performance, we assess each indicator with the benchmark to measure that how well of each management action. With it you can see the examples. We have our objective to increase the mangrove habitat by the year 2020. And our indicators is the hectare of the mangrove for the evaluation. So it no use to just only to keep it with ourselves. And in the different user, it needs for the different style of the reporting. If you have to report your result to the policy maker, so it should be very brief and hit to the point, hard hit to the point. But you have to present it or to report it to the fisheries or the community members. So it should be very simple and easy to understand at or above the benchmark. So it's going well. It's just the simple ones. And this on the instrument panel. So this is in the case of the Bay of Bengal's ecosystem health. This one also another simple reporting system. When everyone look to this, so everyone knows and understand easily. When you see for the green colors, you see the golden or the emerald colors. That's when the area of the ecosystem which have been impacted. And when you see the last one, so it represents that ecosystem over there has been destroyed. And then for the review and adapts, the evaluation report provides the basis of the participatory to reviews of the plans. For the reviews, it can be at the short-term reviews. You can do it at the annuals, or it can be long-term. You can do it for 3 years or in the 5 years of your evaluations. And for the short-term reviews, so after you do the review, so if the plan is working, so you can just happy with that, you celebrate. But if not, we have to come out and come up to things why this go wrong. So that's it for the last step of our E-EAFM. We have a very simple quiz. We call E-EAFM quiz.
Do we need to have in a internal evaluator within the project? The project, do we need to have that evaluator also?
Project want to do info component, like the institutional component, data collection components, and then awareness building component. If you do, and then you, in my opinion, you can evaluate by yourself if you bear in mind that you do the meet with objective or not. But the regulation of the firm, the donor, need to send someone to observe your work. Yes, and that someone, they don't know what is your trouble during run project. Someone that don't know what is hindrance when you working. They're just only focusing on the book, your duty that provide them information why we have to do this, why sometimes we don't make 100% with some component. You have to discuss with them.
So each PIC is really responsible for developing the benchmarks and the indicators. How you started, that is your baseline. And we also have a good practice of having what we call the interim benchmarks in relation to the indicators. And at the same time, if a certain interim indicator is not achieved, he or she is expected to provide some reasoning for that, so that the PMC, Project Management Committee, could see what could be done.